Welcome to A Christian Reacts. So, this one's going to be a little bit different than my usual reactions. If there's any biblical commentary to be had, I'll bring it up. If not, this is mainly just going to be strictly reactions to TikToks. And this is kind of a new series, so I will get better at it. Anyways, I do a Warhammer 40k lore in the Bible series, short format and long format now. So if you want to check those out, go to the short section and go to the Warhammer 40k lore in the Bible playlist. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. All right, so we're going to start with Who Are the Black Shield by Addicts TV.
In the vast universe of Warhammer 40k, some Space Marines erase their pasts, becoming the enigmatic Black Shields. But who are they, and why do they forsake their chapters? Black Shields are Space Marines who have severed all ties with their original chapters, obliterating their heraldry and identities. This renunciation can stem from...
Wait, so Titus, he was a Black Shield, if I remember correctly, right? At the beginning of Space... Well, there it is right there. At the beginning of Space Marine 2. Okay, I get it.
Various reasons. Personal disgrace, the fall of their chapter to chaos, or a quest for redemption. Many seek atonement by joining the Death Watch, the elite Xenos hunting force of the Imperium. Upon arrival, they present themselves as Black Shields, their pasts shrouded in secrecy. The Watch Commander may inquire about their history, but often only minimal details are shared. Within the Death Watch, Black Shields are known for their unwavering determination and exceptional combat skills. They undertake perilous missions, striving to prove their loyalty to the Emperor and seeking redemption for their past transgressions.
Emperor protects.
Their anonymity serves a dual purpose. It allows them to operate without the burden of their former identities and ensures that their past actions do not cast a shadow over their current service. In the grim darkness of the far future, the Black Shields embody the complex nature of honor, redemption, and the lengths to which a Space Marine will go to cleanse their soul. Follow for more insights into the Warhammer 40k universe.
Copy that. So, in the Bible, there is a special forces with Gideon, right? And how he found out, who he wanted, or who God wanted, I should say, were the people went to a well, get some water. If the people kneeled down to get the water, they were out. But if somebody just got up and lapped it up and were standing, the hard men, right? And that's who God chose. And it was like 300 of them. And they would kick some butt, man. And also there's the mighty men of God, right? You had Samson, who was going up against giants, right? As we know, Genesis 6, the sons of God came down made with women, and there were giants on the earth in those days and also after that, right? So, David had mighty men, right? And also Gibberim and, Nimrod, he was also a mighty one who became one. So he took this, whatever you want to call it, mark or whatever, and he became a Nephilim, right? But anyways, let's go ahead and move on. How Space Marines...
Space Marines are known for being almost unkillable, but what happens when a Marine is so heavily damaged that they can no longer fight? For some, this leads to a reassignment. For others, the Emperor's peace. But for a chosen few heroes, they can be interred in a Dreadnought. These walking tanks are actually armored coffins, each one housing a single terminally wounded Astartes warrior. They float inside this vat filled with life-sustaining fluid and permanently wired to their new metal bodies. Here, they find new life piloting their Dreadnought and fighting beyond death. Being interred is no picnic though. Most people who are gifted a Dreadnought wake up after...
If you could still fight, you could still serve the Emperor.
Thinking they have just died and finding nothing but cramped darkness. Many are missing limbs or even parts of their brains and have to be talked down from panic. This is why some see this gift as a curse, a never-ending nightmare between moments of violence seen through digital eyes.
Yay. There's nothing really in the Bible about that, but that's what makes Warhammer 40k, is that stuff right there where you fight on until the very end. literally, right? Anyways, here we go. I see some. Here we go.
People
Vulcan
don't understand
lives.
just how strong Vulcan is from Warhammer 40k.
So this is Retro Joe TTK, or probably for TikTok. I'll follow him, like, and repost. Okay. I love me some salamanders.
So let's talk about it. Vulcan is the primarch of the 18th Legion known as the Salamanders, and this guy is the embodiment of the phrase, a strong man stands up for himself, but a stronger man stands up for others. And Vulcan is the strongest man. Vulcan is physically the biggest and strongest out of all of his other primarch brothers, standing at a whopping 12 feet tall. But yeah, if you put Vulcan and the rest of the Primarchs in a weightlifting competition, Vulcan is winning by a landslide. Also, like the rest of Vulcan's Primarch brothers, Vulcan possesses his own unique ability.
I actually did not know that, so you learn something new every day.
Vulcan, for instance, is a perpetual. Now, the rest of his brothers can live extremely long lives and can heal from almost any injury, but Vulcan is quite literally super immortal. What I mean by that...
And, what was it? That book I was talking about, I think it's Old Earth, where Numion, he goes through the warp again like twice, and they revive Vulcan. And they were able to do that with was it Mount Drakefire or something like that? Anyways, I can't believe I forgot the mountain. Oh, I'm gonna get killed in the comments for that one. Anyways.
Is Vulcan could get atomized right then and there, and he would come back straight up from nothing. And his healing factor will grow over time, so the more you damage him, the faster he's going to regenerate. Vulcan also possesses an amazing intellect, so not only is he bronze, he's also brains as well. Vulcan can create machines that are so advanced, they're practically magic. Also, like the rest of the Primarchs, Vulcan has his own aura, but it works in different ways. See, instead of bending other people or Space Marines to his will, Vulcan's aura kind of blasts out constantly playing Holding Out for a Hero by Bonnie Taylor, or Like a Prayer, the choir version from Madonna, the same one from Deadpool and Wolverine. It happens everywhere he shows up. And it actually gets so loud that some people are kind of mildly annoyed by it because they can't hear themselves think or hear themselves communicating with other people. And it's also so powerful that it can shatter the eardrums, even cause the enemies of the Imperium's heads to explode randomly.
So I gotta stop that so we stop the copyright. Anyways.
Sometimes, just from how loud it is. It has also been said that Vulcan's hugs are so powerful that they can cure even the most tainted of chaos.
I'm probably gonna have to
corruption. Vulcan also has some pretty sick
I'm gonna
gear.
have to take
For
the
instance,
hit on
he has
that
the
one.
teleporter known as Dawnbringer, which can also act like a hammer. And he also has his trusty plasma pistol, which is known as Furnace Heart. This dude has also created some other insanely powerful gear. For instance, the Talisman of 7 Hammers. If you guys don't know...
Sorry guys, I'm gonna try to stop the copyright on this, but it probably won't happen. But I gotta remember that this is TikTok. Too bad there wasn't an option that we could turn off the music. But anyways.
What that is, it's basically a device on Terra to where if the Golden Throne were to ever fail, it would basically engulf half of the solar system in holy...
See, that comment is funny. So if Vulcan hugged Horus, we would have been fine. Oh boy.
Unaliving fire. And he's also built a bunch of other gear, which I might make a video on one of these days. But don't be surprised when you find out that 40k has its own version of the Infinity Gauntlet and Vulcan created it. Let's get into some of the crazy stuff this guy has done over the years. So before the Emperor of Man found Vulcan, Vulcan with just 2 blacksmithing hammers took on 100 Dark Eldar in 1. Vulcan also defeated his super powerful Psyker brother Magnus, who also was empowered by Tzeentch at the time. And he also tanked a, and I quote, soul-destroying blast that could even unalive immortals. And Vulcan just walked through it like, okay. Vulcan also completely
Dang. Yep. That... Oh boy. That's some roids there.
Embarrassed and absolutely bullied his little brother Conrad Kurz. I mean little only in size because technically Conrad is slightly older than him. And Vulcan also could have ended him right then and there, but he decided to let him live because Vulcan is just the better man, even though Conrad tortured him for almost a year. Vulcan also states during his fight with Conrad that he was actually holding back when he was sparring with him and the rest of his other brothers. He was holding back with Angron, who, keep this in mind, was able to lift a Titan. And Ferrus Manus, the guy who possibly held a Necron down in lava. Also Leman Russ, the guy who threw a spear to the moon. Yeah, Vulcan held back against all of them because he was, and I quote, afraid to hurt them. And then there's Vulcan's absolutely insane feat of him fighting the Beast, which is an orc that's on the verge of becoming a Krork, which is much more powerful than them. And Vulcan, I shit you not, suplexed the thing into a reactor. And this thing was about 10 meters.
Just start doing the L.A. Night, yeah. Sorry,
or 32
watch too much wrestling
tall.
sometimes.
Vulcan also apparently hasn't been seen since then. We actually really don't know where
Even
he
though
is.
it sucks
My
nowadays.
personal headcanon is the guy is just so fed up from 40k's absolute BS that he just went on a farm somewhere and is just chilling. And you know what? He deserves it. But yeah, that is Vulcan, the embodiment of the word him. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. Do you guys... Well, of course you guys like Vulcan. Everyone loves Vulcan. But anyway, feel free to comment down below who you want me to talk about next. Feel free to give this video a like. Feel free to give your boy a follow, and I'll talk to y'all later. Also, feel free to join the Discord. Link to it is in my bio. Anyway, see ya.
See ya. Yep, that one's probably going to get copyright claimed. Oh well. That's something I got to remember going on TikTok here. You know what? Should we do this one? Sinister...
Let's talk about
Sinister
the Tyranids.
Stromboli.
The Tyranids are probably the greatest threat to all life, not just in our galaxy, but possibly all other galaxies. That's because the Tyranids are unique in that although every other race or thing that we've talked about in Warhammer 40k so far takes place entirely in the Milky Way galaxy, the Tyranids came from...
Thank you for not having a copyright song, or copyrighted song. There, Stromboli.
outside of our galaxy. The Tyranids' sole purpose seems to be to collect as much biomatter as possible and then use that to evolve and spread across the entire galaxy and then beyond. They reproduce quickly, they evolve and adapt to different threats, so there are a lot of different kinds of Tyranid for each of those threats.
And by the way, I'll try to put all these guys in the description so you can check out their channels on TikTok.
And they are all psychically linked by a collective hive mind. If you've seen my playlist on the history of the Space Marines, then you might remember during the Horus Heresy when the Ruin Storm was created and it split the Imperium in two. One side of the Imperium couldn't see the Astronomicon, which is a giant psychic lighthouse that allows them to navigate through the warp. So the Primarch of the Ultramarines had to activate a device known as Pharos to kind of act as a temporary Astronomicon for their side of the Imperium. During a particular battle in the Horus Heresy, the Pharos beacon overloaded and sent out a signal so strong that it drew the attention of something far outside of our galaxy, the Tyranids.
Yeah.
And now, although the Pharos beacon has been destroyed, the Astronomicon seems to still be drawing in the Tyranids from various galaxies. And that's right, I mean various galaxies, as in the Tyranids are approaching our galaxy from various different directions, as the...
You know, and the Bible kind of has something like this too, so of course... You know, Jesus, when he's talking to Legion, right, it says, you know, for my name is Legion, for we are many. So it's this hive mind mentality of demons, right? But you also got, shush, hold on. Okay. But they have this hive mind, and there's these locusts, right? But they're actually these hybrids, right? These men hybrid locust things. You know, it's in Joel. Can't remember. I don't have my tablet with me at the moment. Hold on a second. Let me grab that. Get to see it live. There ain't gonna be a cut in this one. Alright. I'll pull that up real quick.
As though they've potentially already completely consumed various galaxies around us. The Tyranid travel through space in groups of biological ships known as hive fleets, and they can't enter the warp, but they are capable at traveling faster than light by using ships called narvals. And as if all of that isn't enough, the Tyranids' hive mind also creates a kind of psychic static effect in the warp called the shadow in the warp that causes a lot of different disruptions. For those that aren't very psychically sensitive, the shadow in the warp creates a sense of dread. For those that are psychic, it is a far stronger sensation. And if that psyker then tries to use their psychic abilities or open up their mind to these Tyranids in any other way, then it's been known to drive them insane. The shadow in the warp also makes communication or travel through the warp very difficult, so if a planet is being invaded by the Tyranid, it'll be very difficult to get a message to or from them. It also means that if you're a ship that's been sent to help a planet that's being invaded by the Tyranid, you might find that you're unable to exit the warp anywhere nearby that planet. And if I'm being totally honest, the information that I'm able to fit into a single video is really only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the Tyranids, so we'll be going over them quite a bit more. Let's talk about the Tyranids.
Okay. So, right. So, okay, this is Joel chapter 2. A day of dark, hold on. Blow ye trumpet in Zion, so this is verse 1. And sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Tell me if this sounds, yeah, I won't bring that up. Anyways, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people, a strong. There hath never been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. So this is like supernatural warfare almost. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen. Horsemen. So shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on top of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. See, these are not normal humans. They're also in Revelations, by the way. They're the locusts that come up out of the bottomless pit, right? And before the face, the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. So they're able to climb walls and all that. Okay. They climb like men of war, and they shall march, every one his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one on his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city, and they shall run upon the wall, and they shall climb upon the houses, and they shall enter in all the windows like a thief, and the earth shall quake before them, and the heavens shall tremble. The sun and moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong and executeth his word. So there's about to be war going on here. All out war. So, there you go. We'll do one more TikTok here. Let's see, what should we do? The guy. All right, let's do this.
Everyone knows the Black Templars, but did you
So this is Addicts TV again.
know there's another Templar chapter, born from dawn, painted in red and feared as relentless hunters? They are the Red Templars.
Give them no ground, brothers!
The Red Templars are a Codex-compliant successor of the Imperial Fists. Their armor is bright red with golden trim, and their chapter badge is often shown as a white fleur-de-lis on red. Unlike their crusading cousins,
You know, AI's got really cool music, though. You gotta give him that.
they specialize in search and destroy operations, often fielding fast attack squads and bike companies. Their greatest claim to fame came in 989 to 992, M41, when they joined the Minotaurs in a 3-year hunt for the renegade Night Reapers chapter. This harrowing of the Night Reapers spanned multiple systems and brutal void battles, proving the Red Templars as patient but merciless pursuers. The chase ended around the ancient space hulk, Perun Cross.
With the help of the Grey Knights, the Red Templars cornered their prey before the site was destroyed in a cataclysm. Few chapters have ever fought so closely alongside the Ordo Malleus, and it remains a mark of honor in their history. Even in the era Indomitus, the Red Templars remain active. One of their campaigns is recorded in the reconquest of Talixataka, showing that Dawn's bloodline still hunts traitors across the galaxy.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, we're going to end it there. Let me know how you like this, if you enjoyed this content. I'm going to try to bring more of it. I'm probably just going to do the Warhammer 40k lore in the Bible long form content, probably just on Sundays or Saturdays, just once a week from now on. And that way that doesn't mess up the algorithm. But I will be doing these more and more of the reactions and stuff during the week. Maybe not every single day, but I will try to get more of them out there. But anyways, guys, if you liked this video, thank you. If you didn't, thank you for at least giving me a chance. Have a wonderful day.